Lieutenant Elmo L. Morrison Jr. flew as a bombardier in the 379th Bomb Group, 524th Bomb Squadron, May 30th, 1944. Dear Virgie, I'm going to try something a little different than usual. I'll write you in the regular V-mails, and then maybe I can think of something else to write here. I won't mail this every day or at a specific time. It will, I hope, give you a little something to help pass the time away. First, let's talk about my room here. I don't believe I've ever told you about it. It is about 10 feet by 20 feet and has two large steel frame windows. Through the window can be seen a few things and the end of the runway. Of course, things such as buildings and planes are spread out more than at home because of the bombing attacks. Between the runway and my room, which I'll call home, is a beautiful green field lined with trees. Out of the other window are more trees with other buildings of the squadron. Everything here now is green and seems so quiet and peaceful. Of course, the planes make a lot of noise during the day, and the RAF makes a bit of racket at night. Back now to my home. We have 4 beds in the room, 2 double lockers, a table that I'm using at this particular time, and 2 chests of drawers, also a washstand with accessories that I explained in a previous letter. I have a lower bed with McDonald sleeping above me. Lambert sleeps in the other lower, and Zimmerman did sleep above him, but has since moved to another room with one of his classmates. We have a large closet that is packed with clothes. How these people can acquire so many has me stumped, but is also necessary with the cleaning situation. I sent clothes that came back looking worse than when sent, and they were pretty dirty then. Now I wash my own in 100-octane gasoline drained from our plane, and then we have them pressed. And then we have 3 chairs and a stove. The stove is a joke. We seldom have any fuel for it, and when we do, it won't stay in the stove and burn. However, now the weather is nice and we don't need it, but we almost froze waiting for warm weather to come. I think I should write on just one side of the paper as it's thin and makes for hard reading. I should like to write you about a beautiful castle that is near here and that we fly over often. In fact, I was over it this evening about 9 o'clock. As you know, I can't because of censorship, but I can show you someday and then you can know what I wanted to tell you. This is a beautiful country, and I sincerely hope that someday I can bring you here to see it all. The continent is far different, and I want to see it someday from a different altitude than I do now. Although I've never set foot on the continent, I feel as though I've walked the streets of the little villages and towns scattered throughout France, Belgium, Holland, Sweden, Denmark, Poland, Czechoslovakia, and of course Germany. As you probably know, I've also been through Labrador, Scotland, and Ireland. My short snorter has grown from a single bill to one 4 or 5 feet long, and it will continue to grow for sure. I've met some wonderful English people here, and we can correspond with them after the war. Miss Bowles-Lyon, the Queen's sister-in-law, and a little old woman named Miss Sisley, who works in the American Red Cross Club. She has associated with American officers for almost a year now, and her ambition is to live in Texas on a big ranch and spend her vacation in California. She is a sweet old lady and has sure taken an interest in me. I'd love for you to know her as she knows you from your picture that I carry. Tonight, in our club here on base, we had a concert. It was a far cry from our usual daily activities. In fact, a P-51 buzzed the club during it, and it drowned out the music, and I could hardly refrain from laughing. The entire concert was devoted to music from the 17th century written by English composers and played in both styles, England and the continent. They explained and described the harpsichord and a half-dozen other instruments that I didn't understand or enjoy. However, it was a good way to pass away the time until I was supposed to fly and check the bombing equipment in the ship. It is now 1:30, and I think I should hit the sack. I'll see you in writing on another page.